Have you ever felt like you're really busy all the time, but you're not moving forward? Have you ever felt like you're working hard, but you're not getting closer to the life that you really want? Well, the problem may be that you're not having clear, aligned goals. Okay, so today we will be talking about goal setting and how you can utilize that to transform your life. So, I'm a very goal oriented person. I usually have yearly goals, I have monthly goals, I have weekly goals, and I even have daily goals, right? And they don't have to be anything too over the top. They can go from being really intensive, like when I'm trying to do certain things to make sure that I achieve certain goals in my business or in my education or my work. I can really go into deep detail for that. Or they can just be mundane stuff around the house. Like 2 days ago or so, my kids had field day in school, right? And so the teacher had sent a note saying that please make sure that you remember to bring extra clothes for the kids, make sure that they have towels and they have extra snacks because they're going to be jumping in the water and in the mud and all whatnot. And so my goal for that day was to make sure that in addition to all the other stuff that I was doing, that I had to include labeling my children's stuff and getting them extra snacks and getting them towels and packing all of that to make sure that they had those things ready for school. Okay, so that was my goal for the day. So your goal does not have to necessarily be, again, something very over the top, but it does have to be moving you towards the life that you want. It has to have an important part of helping you achieve your overall idea of success or joy. Remember, we're all about creating more joy, all about creating more success. So whatever it is you're doing, your goal has to be taking you towards that overall goal, the overall idea of giving you more success and more joy in your life. Okay. And helping you to really be where you want to be. So today I'm going to give you just a few tips on some of the things that I've utilized and that are very helpful and research supported really to help you in setting goals so that you can attain your goals. And the first one is visualizing your success. I've talked about this before on here about the importance of visualization. So it is important that for you to achieve your goals, you visualize success. You think about what it is that you want to achieve, what you want to do, and then you create your goals, clear goals, specific goals that are targeted towards your idea of your desired outcome. Okay, so that's something you want to do is definitely visualize success. What would success look like for you? And then you go ahead and create a specific plan for that. Your goals have to be SMART goals. Okay, and I'm sure many of you on here have heard of SMART goals before. And if you haven't, I got you covered. SMART is just an acronym, right? So S means your goals have to be specific. You have to be clear. You have to clearly define what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay, and then that leaves no room for ambiguity, right? So you know what you want and you start to create a plan towards getting that. Your goals have to be measurable, right? You have to have specific metrics in place that will let you know that you are achieving your goals, okay? And A for attainable, your goals have to be attainable. They have to be realistic goals, okay? You can't just come say, I'm going to go build a pyramid in Egypt. Well, why and how are you going to do that? So make sure that your goals are attainable goals. That's going to increase the likelihood of you achieving those goals. And your goals have to be relevant. So going along with the other example I just gave, they have to be relevant and they have to be aligned with your overall goal of making you happier and making you more successful. Okay, so you don't want to set goals for things that have nothing to do with improving your life in any way. So don't waste your time and don't waste your resources on things that do not move you towards where you want to be overall. Okay. And then it has to be time bound. This is so important. You have to have a time frame for your goals. So for example, you have to know when is this going to be due? You have to have deadlines. Okay. So you can't say, I want to finish my education. Well, when? Your goal has to be to make sure that you go to school every single semester and make sure you're doing the classes so that you can finish within a particular time frame that's allocated for that degree program. Okay? So you have to have a particular time frame for it, right? You want to say, for example, in your business, you want to have a certain amount of revenue by this specific time. So in a year from now, I want us to have met this goal in our business, or in a certain time frame, I want to make sure that I have completed this housing building, or I want to make sure that I have packed up all this clothes in my house by Monday, or you know what I mean? You have to have a time you can know whether you have succeeded in achieving that goal or not. I do want to mention really quickly, though, that you have to be careful with feeling like if your goal doesn't go exactly like you wanted it to go, that you are a failure. We know that goal setting is really tied to human behavior and motivation and all of those great things I love to talk about, but we're not going to talk about that in this video too much. But I want you to know that your goals are not written in stone. They're not set in stone, which means that there has to be room for adjustments and adaptability and just change, right? Because when you set a goal, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen. Life can happen, things can happen, and you have to make allowance for that. You have to be ready to readjust your goal and readjust your time frame, readjust your budget, all of that. So that's part of goal setting. I just want you to just think about that, set your goals so that you can start to move closer to the life that you want. Because if you don't set goals, you're going to sit around and waste your time talking to people that you probably don't need to be talking to. You're going to be scrolling endlessly, on social media maybe, or you're just going to be wasting the time that you could have been utilizing to move you closer to the life that you want. Okay, so I hope that this has been helpful. Again, I invite you to invite your friends to join the group, but also I want to remind you all to feel free to make any post that you want on here. The space is for all of us. And if there's a particular topic you want me to talk about, let me know. And also, if you want me to come on here live at some point to answer questions about anything that you want to ask about relating to just helping you increase your confidence or just helping you have a happier, more successful life, and when you want to hear my perspective on that, I'm here. I will be happy to schedule a time that works for most people and show up. Okay, so I wish everyone a very productive and a wonderful May. I can't believe it's May. I feel like it was just Christmas the other day, and now we're already getting towards half the year. So I definitely really encourage you all to set goals so that you can get closer to the things that you want to do and you can celebrate those things in your life. Again, remember to celebrate your wins. And then the last thing I want to mention is write your goals. I keep talking about the importance of writing down, write your goals and set a plan for attaining those goals. Write it somewhere that you can see so that you can be motivated to continue to do it. And don't be discouraged when things don't work out the way that you want them to work out. Stay encouraged, stay optimistic, and keep trying. The best is yet to come. Have a wonderful day. Bye.